I've been playing a collectible card game or a role-playing card game since I was 12. That was Magic the Gathering, and from what I've heard, card games have progressed a lot since then. They've even legalized same-sex unions. Come on, America. Card games are more socially aware than we are, and this is a genre of game that has historically applauded patriarchal suicide. Ugh, you probably just needed a friend. It's lonely at the top. I imagine, though, that I represent a demographic that the makers of Moby Dick or the card game were probably going for. People who might like card games, but aren't necessarily interested in the standard card game fare like high fantasy dragons and sorcery and things like that. No, we're interested in cooler things like 19th century English tomes about whaling. Oh, God, I am a sad individual. Hey, King. Can we talk? I think we might be like the same person. There's probably a lot we're going through together that maybe we can commiserate a little bit. You know, I don't have very many friends. You might not have had.
We are not the same person. I am substantially cooler than you are.
Sorry to bother you. Moby Dick, or the card game, adapted from Herman Melville's novel of two-thirds the same title, challenges each of 2 to 4 players to assemble a crew of sailors, each of which represent characters from the novel, and each of which have special strengths and abilities reminiscent of those characters themselves. It's really quite interesting, and it's something I'd love to see utilized for more books, like, say, Fight Club, for example. That would be a kick-ass card game. Dibs on Kickstartering that, if no one else has. That would be a really cool card game. The object of the game is to kill whales, and by killing whales you get oil. And with that oil, you hire sailors so that you can build a well-prepared boat for the inevitable final battle with Moby Dick, the great white whale. And just like the book, nobody actually kills Moby Dick. In fact, the goal of the entire game is to be the last player with at least one surviving sailor. That sailor probably stranded in the ocean, lacking food, water, lacking hope, really, left to drift in the sea until the whale strikes again, probably. Shit, that's depressing. Depressing enough to maybe drive someone to suicide. Hey, King, you didn't happen to play Moby Dick the card game, did you?
Oh dear, no, I don't play card games. I'm not a nerd.
A suicidal king won't hang out with me. That's fine. The game is fun, at times incredibly fun, but I do fear that veteran card game players might be put off by the lack of deep strategy, while new card game players might be put off by the somewhat confusing and steep learning curve. Definitely check out the videos on the King Post channel, which I'll link to in the description below, for videos about the gameplay. Those help incredibly when trying to figure out exactly how to play this game. This leaves a fairly narrow group of people who could pick up the game, learn it quickly, and have fun immediately. But all that aside, once you learn the game well enough to not have to refer to the manual after every single turn, there's quite a bit of fun to be had, really. And not to mention the card art is incredible. Check this stuff out. It's really, really, really cool. I'd actually love to have poster-sized images of some of these hanging on my wall. They're very cool. All you have to do is find at least one extra friend. Hey, King, what are you doing this weekend? You want to play some...
Yeah, I'd love to, but I have to tend to some serfs on my land, and I have to... This is the point in my rambling hesitation that you should become aware that I'm desperately trying to say no without hurting your feelings, and in turn you should help me out by suddenly remembering that you have plans already anyway.
Oh, you know what? No, it's cool. I just remembered I have to paint my walls and change some sheets, so it's cool.
Dang, I was totally up for it too. I'm sorry. Oh, jeez. Next time, maybe. Not next time, though.
What was I drinking up front? Well, it was Founder's Porter Ale. It's really, really, really good. Much darker and much smoother than most porters would be. Porters tend to be a very somewhat bubbly, really, which I don't really like. But this is incredibly smooth. This is really sort of on the verge of being a stout. In fact, if I didn't know it was a porter, I would think it was a stout. So definitely drink it. Very, very, very good. Very good. Salud.